Hey Andrew, hey DIWHY viewers. Thanks for having me today. I'm Chelsea Ursin of local rock band Banana. We played on DIY a little while ago. I also have a podcast called Dear Young Rocker, and I'm here today to give you a few tips if you're getting started in podcasting or thinking about getting started in podcasting. So my show, just really quick, Dear Young Rocker is a memoir type show about how I was a little weird, socially anxious, every kind of anxious middle schooler, and then I kind of dealt with my issues by starting to play and listen to a lot of rock music, and that's how I learned to connect with other people. So it's that kind of story and getting in my first band and all that, and advice to my young self, like stuff I wish she had known. And on that note, I would love to tell myself a few months ago, before I started podcasting, a few things. So if you're in that space, here's some tips for you. So I'll give you three main ones. So number one, try not to work alone. There's a lot of stuff to do, and even if you have the skills in every area, it's just so much to do. It's so many hours a week that if you end up doing everything alone like me, you're gonna probably get overwhelmed pretty quickly. So you need to be able to record, edit, and mix audio. You need to create like social media / marketing campaign. You need to learn, you have to build a website to host your podcast, and learn about RSS feeds and analytics and get in the iTunes store and all that stuff. And it sounds hard. It's really not hard. Like I just found like YouTube tutorials and Udemy classes for like $10 that taught me how to do all of these things, but it just took so many more hours than I had anticipated, and I have no one to like keep me accountable. So a lot of people work with a co-host, or maybe you just have someone who's gonna do like social media posts for you, or someone just to be like, hey, send it to me by this week so I can create some artwork for it, or whatever it is. I had to create a logo. Okay, so I had to learn a lot of stuff by myself. So I wish I had started with someone else, honestly, but at this point it's like my beast. So that's one. And two, kind of on that same note, since it's just gonna be a lot more hours than you think, like every episode is gonna be like 3 times longer to produce than you think, I would say make episodes, and this is what people who are more expert than me do. You make a few episodes before you put out your first episode. Because let's say you're like, oh, I want to make a show once a month or once a week. And you make your first episode and you're like, okay, it's my first episode. It took a long time, but now that I know what I'm doing, I'll get one out every single week. So you tell your friends that, you post your first episode, and then months go by inevitably before you post your next one because you realize all this other stuff you want to do. And then you lose that momentum. So even if you're not trying to like make money off this, which you're doing the wrong thing if you're trying to make money off of this, you have to be very self-motivated. Even if you're just doing it for fun, I would say make a few episodes just to see how long each one takes, and have those back up. So like when life inevitably comes in and slows you down, you can like have those back up and you can put them there while you're working on the next episode, because it's gonna like keep building on itself, this snowball of time. And so those are kind of like 3 tips, I guess, in one. Don't work alone if you can help it. Ask for help, please. Make content before you put it out, and like realize it's gonna be a lot more time than you think it is, but you can do it. You just have to like Google things for hours and hours and hours and ask for help. And there's a wonderful podcasting community in Boston. If you check out the Podcast Garage in Alston on Western Ave, I'm there like constantly, and that's where I record, and that's where I make podcasting connections and take classes and network, and you should check that out. So yeah, and please check out my show, DearYoungRocker.com. It's available on iTunes, Google Play, and it's on Spotify too. So thank you very much.